Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Bruni, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Colin, your bed looks half made in the back
I
there.
just we just got the stuff thrown on there. I was gonna get. I'm glad you brought it up because I was gonna give an update actually. But no,
Okay.
laundry got done. You see Maya right there. She's chilling out. We got it. Everything's clean.
See that looks acceptable to you. To me, it does not look acceptable.
The problem is, Bruni, is that she messes everything up.
Okay, blame her. Okay.
No, like if I make my bed, she'll grab the blankets and like put them in piles and then lay in them. Is it
Okay.
a cop out? Yes.
Yeah, it is definitely. All right. Colin,
Yeah.
uh, I didn't watch enough of this game. But I feel like we need to get something up on it. You watched it all, so
I
that's
did
why I
watch it
feel
all.
I feel good about us doing this podcast. I had LSU and then a bunch of stuff to do, but I watched a little bit, watched here and there, on and off when I could. But I always want to be upfront when we do these podcasts. So I'll throw it to you. We don't need anything crazy right now. We can, turn the preheat on the oven and kind of go from there. But North Texas. Sorry,
Yeah.
mind is racing today. Crazy day. North Texas loses to UAB 41-21. Um, a tale of two halves, pretty much. And yeah, where do you want to go? Where do you want to start?
Um, I won't go crazy yet. Like you said, we'll get the preheat on. We'll get the everyone's already worked up. So let's bring them back down before we work them up again. First overall thoughts is when North Texas first went down 14-0, and in my
Yeah.
head, I could not think of a game that I had watched where they had come back and won that game.
Mm-hmm.
And going through all their wins, I actually went through after the first quarter. Last year was the only time that being down 14-0 in the first quarter, they came back and won. That was last year against Southern Miss. Prior to that, the only win I could find was them being down 10-0, and that was in 2017, I believe. I don't remember against two, but it didn't matter.
Okay.
So I was already of the mindset after that first quarter,
It's over.
help.
Yeah.
It was help. It wasn't it's over because this is the game, right, where we all came in. They had to win this game to show us that this wasn't the same old team. That way they weren't just going to continue to build everyone up and then just collapse. So when they got those 21 points, I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. 21 points. And then the rest of the game came. You have those 21 points all within so their first score. I wish I had the times on ESPN. Oh yeah, okay. 12 minutes and 12 seconds left in the second quarter. The last score you had with 6 minutes in the second quarter.
Yeah. They scored
After
21 straight.
they scored 21 straight in 6 minutes, basically. And then it goes field goal for UAB, punt North Texas, touchdown UAB, punt North Texas, touchdown UAB, turnover on downs because that was what they had to try to win the game, and
And
then touchdown, and then
I think you skipped the field goal in there for UAB as well. Because they had back-to-back field goals to cut it to 21-20. Then they had three straight touchdowns. Or not three straight, but
no, this is the second half I'm talking about.
yeah, in the second half,
They only have
yeah,
one.
okay.
They only have one field goal.
Yeah, but they had one to close the first half too. But go ahead.
Yeah, they had the one that closed the first half, and then North Texas got the ball back for a minute 32. But what I'm saying is, after looking back at the game, I was thinking, okay, well, where did this all go wrong? North Texas's 3 touchdowns were kind of flukes. Going back and thinking about it, so you have that first one. They recover it. I believe this was either the bad punt or the fumble. I can't remember. But basically, they were on like UAB's 35. This is when UAB went for it, actually, on fourth
Mm-hmm.
down. So that was an easy thing. You had Isaiah Johnson run for 7 yards, and then you had Damon Ward wide open touchdown.
Yeah.
And I was
Good
like,
play
okay,
design.
that's fine. Then you have or was that the end? I'm sorry. I just misread those. That was the last touchdown. First touchdown. You had the 15-play 75-yard drive. I was like, okay, they got the run game going. They finally stopped going deep on every single pass play, and they were getting some good offense going. So I said, okay, that's pretty good. Then they have their second touchdown, which is the one that I just talked about. And then you have your third touchdown, which is scored in a minute 36 seconds. You have the Jair Shorter catch, and then you have the Isaiah Johnson touchdown. All of those are predicated off of big plays except for the first drive. Outside of that, UAB was shutting North Texas down. And that's when we get to the second half and we see what UAB has done to teams. And we talked about this last week, is UAB only allows 22 points, 21 points a game.
Yeah.
This is normal for them. They score 31 points a game. This is normal for them. So what went wrong? North Texas showed up, and we thought they were going to be better. We thought the 6-point spread was bad on Vegas. They were right, and then some. And North Texas proved once again that they were frauds.
Yeah, I mean the second half stats speak for themselves. 24-0.
Yeah.
300 yards to 50. 5.6 yards per carry to 2.2. I mean 14 first downs to 4. 9 to 10 on third downs for UAB to 2 of 6 for North Texas. 7.4 yards per play for UAB. 2.2 for North Texas. I really only have overarching takeaways from this because since I did not see the whole game.
Yeah. Well, you saw the first half, right?
I saw pieces of the first half.
So into the end of the half, after they scored those 21 straight, where were you mindset wise?
When they scored 21 straight, I thought North Texas was back in control of it to a degree because I just didn't think UAB had the. I thought North Texas defense was going to be good enough to hold UAB down for a bit. Like, and then obviously I didn't see North Texas just not scoring the ball for the rest of the game. Like I thought if you can steal another touchdown, like 10 points in the second half, even get to 31, I thought they would win the game.
Yeah,
they didn't. So that's kind of where I was at. How do you think Austin Aune played? 15 to 32, 159 yards.
It's weird because I don't know what his first reads were. Obviously, you're more of the football guy than I am, but a lot of the plays seemed like just shots. I mean, he had like what should have been 3 picks on the first 3 drives.
Very aggressive. Yes.
I mean, it was god awful. And then there you had the first touchdown drive where it was finally he settled down, threw 8-yard passes instead, and then they went back to those deep plays after deep play, and they just weren't there for him. You had Jair at the end of the game. I think it was on their last attempt before they went down 14, or maybe it was after they went down 14, where he overthrew him a little bit. But the wind clearly was affecting something, or he just wasn't playing well because you saw the punts from or the kickoffs rather from UAB where they just weren't going anywhere. So I don't know why you'd attempt these long passes unless they're wide open, which none of them were. None of them were. So is that play calling or Austin Aune? I'm going to go, I guess, Austin Aune. And it wasn't great. It wasn't good. Now, I think that the offense was definitely the reason why they won the game. I know UAB hung up 41 points, but I thought North Texas's defense was just on the field way too much. I mean, I thought they did a really good job against UAB to start this. We know that this defense they aren't world beaters. They aren't going to hold the team to, 20 points every week. So I think the defense did what they had to do. You gave UAB 2 garbage time touchdowns. So, I mean, really, what was the actual score? But the offense lost this game for North Texas.
I don't know about garbage time touchdowns. Didn't they milk the clock on the last drive?
The very last drive, I guess, was the garbage time.
I mean, they drove
touchdown.
the ball. It's not like they were fluky.
Yeah. No, they weren't fluky. I just mean like there was like 2 minutes left. North Texas was already down 14. Seth didn't call the timeout on the 1 yard line.
All right. Anything else from the game?
The game, no.
Shout out Damon Ward, having a good game. 58 yards, 6 catches. And I kick Ragsdale. So here we are, Colin.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. North Texas is now 6-5 on the year.
Yep.
They are still going to play in the conference championship game, I believe now.
They have to beat Rice. They have to beat Rice. If they lose to Rice and Western wins, then they're out.
Yeah. Thank you. So 2-loss team. Western's 2 losses as well. Rice drops down to 3 losses. So they have to beat Rice at home to play in the conference championship game. Needless to say, if they lose that game, why are we here? Type thing. Question the meaning of life. Question Seth the Trail. Question all that stuff. But I do think that everything we said on the preview podcast kind of foreshadowed this to a degree, where we were like, the difference between 8 wins and 7 wins is substantial, right? We said that. And for those who maybe didn't listen to that podcast, we basically said, or I said, I'll wear it. Um, we predicted them to go 7-5 this year, and now it looks like they probably will go 7-5. So
Yes.
Seth Luttrell has sufficiently lived up to expectations. But I think this game is kind of, to a degree, representative of the entire season, because you have a chance to exceed expectations. You have a chance to make this a special year, and you fall short.
I
Where
would
have we
argue
heard
that
that?
this is the theme of his entire tenure here in North Texas.
Exactly. Where
Yeah.
have we heard that before?
Yeah.
We've heard that before in 2017. We heard that before in 2018. We've heard that before in 20. I mean, well, then the last 3 years have been just awful. But you look at bowl games, you look at championships, the entire tenure has been littered with games of this caliber. Now, the West Kentucky win was big, right? At least they won that game, because if they lost that game and this game, then we'd come back on here and be like, he's done. But that win bought him some time. It bought him a chance at the conference championship. And now we have to look back at the season and be like, all right, now you have to win the conference championship, right?
You have to win the conference championship. Is that what you
You
said?
have to beat UTSA.
Yes. I mean, after this
That's
loss,
what this game has ensured, because 8-4 regular season, I could live with. I think I said that on the podcast. I could live with a close loss to UTSA
yeah,
if they win 8-4 in the regular season,
yeah.
because then you had to win one of the two, whether conference championship or bowl game, one of the two. It doesn't matter. You had to win one of those two. I'm approaching the mindset after this UAB loss, because again, this UAB loss to me was a benchmark. It's just like in school where you have different benchmarks. You have different end of the semester tests to show how much you've learned. This was a benchmark. They passed the West Kentucky benchmark, failed UTSA, failed UAB, failed SMU early in the year too. The conference championship is now another benchmark that I think has to be passed. And I wasn't completely sold on that being a must win. Now you not only have to beat Rice, which I'm not even going to say is 100% certainty at this point, because we've seen Rice beat UAB. We've seen Rice pull off some random wins. You have to beat Rice and you have to beat UTSA on the road in order for me to consider this season an overwhelming success.
I wouldn't even say overwhelming. I mean, if we're talking about season success, I
Yeah,
think we're
success
past
at
that
all.
now, right? I mean, this is the UA. This loss just solidifies what I said after UTSA, after what I had said about Memphis. It's just you're in that cycle of mediocrity where you have those huge wins. I mean, I'm not going to deny La Tech, you blew them out. FAU, you blew them out. Western, you blew them out. FIU, so on and so forth. But when you play a team that has given you trouble in the past, is a program that's known for being good in the past, it continues to give you problems. And this is a theme that's happened every single year. I mean, UAB, how many UAB games have we talked about over the last 2 weeks on this podcast where they've gone away at UAB and they've come back with a loss when we thought that they were going to win? Western right now, I guess, in FAU are looking like the only impressive wins at all on their schedule in hindsight. And, that may be unfair, but it's true. I mean, because it fits the theme. So I think after this UAB loss, I'm back to the same part earlier where you have to win the conference championship game if you're going to try to, in my eyes, if you want to salvage a job. And then the bowl game, depending on who it is, if I see a blowout, regardless of if you win that conference championship game, it's unacceptable to me because it's a lot different winning a conference championship game. I know UTSA is good and they were ranked last year and they're good this year. It's a lot different winning a Conference USA championship game that is known to be an awful conference, has shown to be an awful conference, than it is to play another conference and then just get blown out by them, because that's representative of where your team is at in the national perspective. This isn't Conference USA anymore. This is the national perspective. And since they're not going to be in Conference USA next year and you're going to be in the AAC, well, that's your benchmark right there. So I think we're right back to where we were right after the UTSA loss. I think this loss cancels out Western and FIU in my eyes.
I think that's a good point. That's a really good way of looking at it. Well articulated. I will say, and for those who want to say, we'll take a 7-5 season every year. I think in theory, I would take a 7-5 season from this program every year. in the American,
Yep.
not in Conference USA.
You know what I
That's
was
what I would
thinking?
say.
Sorry, you made me think of this, or I was thinking of this before we came on the podcast. I'm a Lions and Pistons fan. We all know
Yep.
that they're really bad, but I know they're really bad. Every year going to a season, I know I have my expectations set low. They live up to those expectations, and if they win a few good games, there you go. With North Texas, it's always been they're going to be really good this year. You know, outside those 3 years, the COVID 2019, whatever. With Mason Fine and this year, they have the talent. They're going to do things. This is it. They're going to go to the conference championship. They've been to all these bowls. We every year fans get hyped up over and over and over again saying this is going to be the year. They're going to be really good this year. And they come out, they beat teams, they blow them out. But in games that matter where you think, okay, yeah, this shouldn't be a problem. La Tech, when they block the field goal, this La Tech team, yeah, they're good, but we should be able to handle them. FAU a few years ago, we should be able to at least make this competitive. You continue to show that you're putting it's like a facade. The bad teams put up a facade of you being a good team, and then you finally play a good team, and you've just falter. And am I being unfair in saying that?
No, because I'm going to just continue to hammer home one point, and that if this team was playing in the American with the schedule that it has next year, it would have a very different record than what it has right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. If they can go 7-5 in the American for the next 5 years, I'm taking that 100%. This is not the American. You have lost to the two American teams that you're playing. Actually, and then throw UAB in there and then throw UTSA in there. You're what, 1-4 against American teams because they beat
Yeah.
La Tech? No, La Tech's
Yeah.
not going. FAU. FAU is the one that's
FAU,
going.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah, that's a really good point.
I'm trying to find. I sent you the schedule for next year.
Yeah, let me find it.
Here it is.
You got it. Okay. Yeah, name them
Um,
off.
Hold on, don't put pressure on me like that. Why are you yelling? Okay, slow down. Here we go.
Sorry.
Um, so next year they play UTSA, Memphis, UAB, Temple as their 4 home games. Okay. I actually don't know anything about Temple. If you want to
Temple's
look up,
really bad. They were on that ranking that I put out. It's
okay,
they're
so
like
Temple's bad.
119
All
or
right,
something.
underdogs in 3 of those games. They would have lost 3 of those games this year. They did lose against 3 of those teams this year. Away, Tulsa, SMU, Tulane, Navy. I'll tell you right now, SMU and Tulane are rocking this team. Tulsa, I don't know. And Navy, probably win, maybe not a win. But regardless, that's 3-5. Best case.
Navy's ranked 113th right now.
Okay, let's say 3-5.
Yeah.
With what I just said.
Yep.
That's the American schedule that I just said. That's the difference.
Yep.
That's the difference. There's no FIU on that schedule, is there? There's no La Tech on that schedule. There's no easy.
There's no Rice.
Yeah, but I think Rice is going to the American, but they don't play them next year.
Oh yeah, I just
they play them in 2 years. But yes, you're right.
Year.
You're right. Yes. All I'm saying is, my expectations are not in this conference, which I think you've kind of just said. My expectations and what I'm holding this team, the standard of this team to, is to the AAC. I'm holding them to that level. And this team, like I just said, is 1-4 in games against American Conference teams this year. And in my opinion, would go 3-5 with that 2023 schedule if they played it this year. So is that good enough? I don't think it is.
Yeah.
So that's if we want to really sift through the fluff of FIU, Texas Southern, La Tech, and UTEP, if we take out those 4 wins, we have FAU and Western Kentucky. Those are pretty good wins, but it's not enough. It's not enough. That's what I think at the end of the day it all comes down to. So I'll say it again. If this team would have beaten UAB, we set our expectation. We started raising our expectations, and I said on the preview podcast, I was like, are we making a mistake raising our expectations too high? And you said no, because this team needs to win this game. This program needs to win this game. They need to show that they can go on the road after. Yes, they already did it against Western Kentucky. Now, can you do it again? Can you do what UTSA has done the past 2 years? Can you do what good teams do and what
Good
UAB
Conference
in the
USA
past
teams in the past?
Yes, what UAB did in the past, what FAU did in the past, what UTSA is doing now. Can you do what those teams did now? And the answer is no. So,
Yep.
that's That's it. That's all I got.
And it's sad because you think that us sitting up here going, yeah, they have a 70%, 80% chance of going to a Conference USA championship game, that we'd be excited. We'd be like, it's fine. Well, and your resume this year is not good. I mean, UTSA right now, they're rolling. They just won 58-7. I don't even know who they played.
La Tech.
Actually,
They
La
played La
Tech.
Tech.
Yeah, still, you win 58-7. You
The
gotta hope, and you better hope that this team doesn't embarrass itself in that game.
Against Rice or you at UTSA?
UTSA.
Okay, yeah, but either one.
I mean, either one, yeah. But let's not go back to Rice a couple of years ago. But
Oh
no,
my
if you make this conference championship game, you better hope you don't embarrass yourself.
If they lose to Rice, they're 6-6 on the year.
I know.
I just want to throw that out there, just because we haven't considered that possibility. But if they did, and I've seen some crazier things happen. We were in person at Rice 2018.
That
We
was
saw, or
just
no, 2019. I'm sorry, 2019.
Yeah.
We were in person. We never thought
What
it
a
would
kick in
happen.
the nuts that was.
We never thought it would happen, and it happened. All I'm gonna say, it's not out of the realm possibility that Rice beats.
No,
North Texas.
it's not, and that's the sad part, right? Like, we should be up here saying North Texas will beat Rice, and I'm very confident they will, but Rice right now seems more likely to get a win than North Texas is against a good Conference USA team when it matters, and that's what we talked about last week. When North Texas has expectations to do good things, and when, like you said, we raise our expectations. When they have expectations to make it to a conference championship game, to be competitive against the champions in Conference USA and bowl games or whatever, that's when they fail. When they have no expectations, they win.
Yep.
That's what happened last year. 1-6, you rattle off 5. Why not? You finally you get to the point where it's like, oh, we can go 8-4.
This
you
year
lose.
They beat Western.
Yep, you beat Western.
no
FIU was a gimme game, and then you get UAB, and you go, okay, well, we can go 8-4, and we can have some momentum. You lose by 20 points.
It feels like Seth is the ultimate guy who can bring people together when in bad times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anything past that, it doesn't really evolve.
And what's weird
there's no
is,
evolution. It's always all right, guys, let's get up to this level right here. And maybe that is what he is. Maybe he's a guy who can build a program and establish a foundation. I think that's really important. But we've seen time after time when he has had these chances, these opportunities to make a statement, he hasn't done it. Again, they can still make the conference championship without beating UAB. That's fine. But to me, this was still an enormous benchmark that he has failed.
Yep.
So I'm continuing just to read through the American Conference. In 2024, they play let me just name the teams I think they would win against: Rice, South Florida, and Charlotte. That same year, they play SMU, UTSA, UAB, FAU, and East Carolina. It's I don't know. It's just it's not going to get. It's not going to get much easier going forward, guys.
And let's also not forget about those teams that are the really bad Conference US teams that are going to the American. They're going to get better because they're in the American.
FAU is going to be better than what it is right now.
Yeah, FAU is going to be better. Rice is going to be better. Charlotte, I don't know. In a couple of years, we'll see. They're kind of on the downturn, but it's a different conference because they have to also move up to their competition they're going to. They're not going to be able to stay the same and remain in the American. So,
and this is and it always just comes back with North Tech having the most resources in Conference USA, being able to pay the coach the most in Conference USA, to be able to have the most money, the best facilities in Conference USA.
Longest tenured coach in Texas.
The longest tenured coach. What have you done with it?
Yep. And it's not from a lack of chances.
Zero championships.
Yep.
And so that's what needs to change this year in order for me to get back on the bandwagon. Beating Rice, they better beat Rice by 30. They better.
It better look convincing.
It better be. And then you have to go beat UTSA.
Yep.
On the road in the Alamo Dome. That's the SAT for this team.
Yep.
Even though I didn't really need the SAT to get into college because, I'm smart. And North Texas Journalism School, I don't think was the hardest to get into personally.
I mean, I just kind of signed up and got it. So
yeah, I don't really think it mattered what I got on my SAT, but I actually did good on my SAT.
I don't think I did. I stayed up. I'm pretty sure I did an all-nighter and rolled up.
I actually did bad the first time, and then I did so well the second time they had to investigate to see if I was cheating.
Did you cheat?
No, no.
Just a hard worker. You just got in there and grinded.
I legitimately went in there like almost unprepared the first time, and then the second time I was like, oh, I should actually take this seriously. So then I did and did well. So
Congratulations.
but yeah, that's the benchmark. Beat UTSA. I don't even. That game is bigger than a bowl game to me, because that's a conference.
Well, it has to be.
Game.
Well,
you have to win that.
Well, it depends. It depends on how you look at it. You have to win that game to get to the next benchmark, which is the bowl game.
If he wins the conference championship game and Rice, if he wins these next two games, he's safe.
Yeah, he's safe. But in terms of the overall like look, it's still going to look pretty bad if you get blown out in a bowl game.
Okay, yeah. If they get App Stated in the bowl game, we're gonna come on here and be like, I don't know about this one. Like,
but I agree. But I definitely agree. You win Rice and you beat UTSA, you keep the job.
Yeah.
But if we're being honest, I think he probably keeps his job at this point now.
If he loses to Rice?
No, if he wins against Rice and loses against UTSA. Like, I mean, I'm over it.
Maybe.
I'm over it, but I think it's the safe bet for if you're looking at it as Ren. But I don't know. I mean, Ren's a smart dude. He knows what he's doing, but it's just
give me a call, Ren. We can talk. We can talk it
on the podcast right now. Just cold call.
We can talk it through. All right, let's do our pick'ems.
Man, I don't even remember what they were.
We did. All right, more rush yards. UAB.
Definitely UAB.
We both said UAB, so just cross that one out. Total points for North Texas, over under 27.5. I said over, you said under.
Let's go. Man, you're about to be swallowing that shit.
Total North Texas, total interceptions over under 2.5. I said under, you said over.
There was zero.
0. I was right. North Texas passing yards over under 210. I said over. Colin said under. It was under. But final score, I said 31-30. You said 27-24. I think I was right. That. Okay. Yeah, so we're back. We're still separated by 2. Colin has 26. Rooney has 24.
Let's just see something real quick. I want to see if they have a lineup for the game next week. They don't.
I am dying.
Yeah, you sound like you're dying.
I'm dying. But nothing was going to stop me from getting on this podcast.
That will stop at nothing to get on this podcast.
I live this. All right. Well, Colin, I'm going to go book some hotels in Atlanta. Let me know if you're coming.
To Atlanta? No.
Yeah. You can drive over here and then we can go.
To do what? Just sit there? Just be like, yep.
I can look you in, probably.
If you can get me in, we'll talk about it.
Say less. You still got your camera?
Yeah, I mean the new one. It's not, anything crazy.
Can it take photos?
It'll work. It would work.
Take photos?
It'll work.
I'll see what I can do.
All right.
See what I can do.
What day is it?
December 3rd, Saturday.
Sheesh. Okay. All right.
We'll see what we can do. We might be taking the show on the road. Do reaction pod from Atlanta after because the Conference USA Championship's on the Friday, and then SEC's on Saturday. So we'll see.
That's crazy.
I just honestly, I need to go with somebody so that way they make all the plans because I am awful at planning trips.
You think I'm good at plans? We already brought up the 2019 Rice game. Do we need to bring that? We already brought that up on the podcast.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like if there's somebody else, I can at least be like, hey, can you look at hotels or something? You would do it. I'm awful at that.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
I'm just scared of Rice now, kind of. Did you know North Texas allows almost 100 more yards per game than Rice does?
Well, Rice also runs the ball a lot. They have Mike Bloomgren as their coach.
North Texas doesn't run the ball a lot?
They do. You're right. All right, Colin. I gotta go. Go. LSU basketball just played.
Let me make a thumbnail for you so we can get this up for the people. But let's follow the stuff everywhere, and let us know how you feel.
Let us know what you think. How concerned are you? Subscribe to the channel.
Everyone's concerned.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, like the video.
Like the video. That helps us out a lot. So.
Like to dislike.
Like the dislike?
Like to dislike, like the team. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Bad,
All
bad,
right.
bad slogan.
We will talk to y'all later. And yeah, North Texas basketball plays tomorrow against SMU St. Mary's. So
Sad.
we'll see how that one goes. All right. We'll see y'all later.